Hello everybody, this is Shady here, and yes, we are going to talk about the recent announcement of Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation. So yeah, obviously, kind of expected this, I think, and yeah, I think this is the kind of, after the Phil Spencer interview and now the announcement of this game, it's pretty obvious, Xbox are just a full-blown third party at this point. There's just no denying it, really. And yeah, I think, obviously, right now, they're porting these older games, to kind of get people into these franchises on PlayStation, because obviously moving forward, everything is gonna be, day and date. I think that's pretty obvious, especially, now that, the Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, which is obviously just being published by Microsoft, and all the other games, Doom and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's just pretty much what we expected, really. They tested the water with the 4 games, like Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, what was it, Grounded, and I can't even remember the other one. Sea of Thieves, I think that was the 4 of them. Yeah, they tested the waters with them. Obviously, the game sold extraordinarily well, and then obviously, especially after the sale, the sales of Black Ops 6, which basically, what was it like? I think like 84% of the sales were on PlayStation or something like that, which is astronomical. And yeah, obviously, Game Pass did nothing. Call of Duty did nothing for Game Pass, as we saw recently. So yeah, it just makes sense that this is the best move for Microsoft right now. Just port these older games. I'm sure we'll get Master Chief Collection. And obviously certain games like Avowed, I think it's just the fact that these teams, they're probably a bit too far into development to do a PlayStation version. Yeah, I mean, I originally thought the delay was to get the game out on PlayStation as well, but obviously that's not the case. But yeah, I would expect by the end of this year, Avowed to come. Yeah, like I said, Master Chief Collection, expect some sort of Gears Collection, some of the Fable games, all of that, it just makes sense. But for me personally, I really think, they should look at Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, those 2 games, the Mr. Walker JRPGs for the 360, doing remasters of those games and bringing them to PlayStation and Switch would be incredible. I think those are the perfect games to come. Obviously, I don't know if we'll get a sequel, because obviously, as we know, Sakaguchi is working on his next game, more than likely with Square Enix, I would imagine. So yeah, I don't think he'll really run at the chance to work with Microsoft after the difficulties of, working on Lost Odyssey. I mean, you can look into that yourself, but basically there was no real communication with them. Obviously, because they were working in Japan, Microsoft were in America. Also, they didn't have like the latest builds of Unreal available and stuff like that. Yeah, but I mean, never say never. I mean, he came back to Square Enix, so doesn't mean it wouldn't happen. But yeah, I think this is just a good thing. I'm definitely going to pick this game up. Really looking forward to seeing how it runs on the PS5 Pro. As we know, this is being done by Panic Button, who obviously they did all of those amazing Bethesda ports on the Switch, like getting games like Doom Eternal and Wolfenstein 2 to run on the Switch was insane. So yeah, expect these to be really good ports. But obviously the Forza guys are kind of incredible anyway. Like Forza Horizon 5. That thing runs on a base Xbox One and really well. So yeah, can't wait to see what these guys do on PlayStation moving forward. In terms of Xbox, I mean, I did a video the other day talking about what I think their plan might be. But if I'm going to be honest, like looking back now, I think, yeah, it's hard to see them bothering with the hardware if these games sell well. I think it all comes down to how much, or how successful these games are on PlayStation. If they're making enough money, what was the point of even having another console? But I do think probably going to see some sort of like like I said, Xbox mode, like their competitor to Steam OS on the Steam Deck, which is now coming to things like the new ROG Ally or ROG Ally. So yeah, I would imagine they're probably going to still have the handheld, which launches with that, and basically that's just going to be integrated within Windows. And I think that's pretty much going to be what the Xbox is. Yeah, it's just more like a console-like experience on PC moving forward, I think, and obviously they'll have the option of cloud. Yeah, Game Pass though, I don't know how much longer they're going to continue with day and date, if I'm going to be honest, because there's obviously been no growth in it. We'll wait and see this year, because obviously, you know, there's some big games coming. I just think that I understand Call of Duty probably they expected it to do better, but obviously most of the fan base is on PlayStation, so it's kind of, I think that's a difficult game to judge with Game Pass. Wait and see with things like Avowed and Doom and whatnot. But I think if there's no significant growth by the end of this year on Game Pass, expect the model to completely change, day and date to go. Personally, that's my thoughts anyway. And yeah, they can just make the bulk of the money on PlayStation and Steam. It just makes sense. But yeah, like I said, I expect Avowed to be announced at some point after its launch, obviously, because they don't want to take away from the hype of the Xbox release. Obviously, we've got Indiana Jones coming out, so both Forza and Indiana Jones will be out for spring, which is awesome. And yeah, this comes at the perfect time as well, because when you think about how Sony kind of messed up with their live service push, it's really good for Microsoft to bring these games out this year, because they don't really have a lot of their own games coming out this year. Obviously, Ghost of Yota is kind of the only big release coming for this year. Intergalactic, give that a couple of years, I think, probably next year. So there's a gap in the market. So yeah, I think this is a really great time for Microsoft to port these games. Like, I think if you were to bring like Gears of War, maybe if it's not a collection, just a remaster of one, I think people would eat that up. And yeah, I think when Halo Master Chief Collection drops, that's going to sell like hotcakes. So yeah, and it's the perfect thing to do to build hype for the next releases. Because I would assume the new Forza Horizon 6 will probably be out maybe this year or next year. So you bring out 5, within a year or so you bring out 6, and then on everything, I think it'll sell out really well. I have played a little bit of, I think it was Forza Horizon 4 when I first got the Series S, because they did an next gen patch, and it's a really good game. It's an open world racing game, basically, really good, arcadey, fun sort of action, in comparison to like the mainline Forza. So yeah, but anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. I think this is awesome news, and thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.
The exclusivity question, because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us. So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy. We're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind. And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators, reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and to grow. And we think this is an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
Bullshit. You're talking bullshit.